Absolutely, absolutely. So debit card versus credit card. Which one is better?
I'm gonna go with the credit card.
All right, and I'm gonna go. Well, see, look now. Let's be honest. We didn't know at first that credit card was better than debit card because we would always spend cash or spend our debit card, which is cash, or spend Cash App, which is cash, or PayPal card, which is cash.
And I'm
right?
sure there's people watching this be like, oh no, I don't use credit cards at all.
That's because that's what we were
taught.
taught.
If I don't have the cash, I'm not using credit. But that's just because you don't understand the power of credit and how to use credit cards properly.
Absolutely. So so now let's talk about it. One reason debit cards are not as good as credit cards is because when you use a debit card, the money comes directly out of your checking account right away. But if you use a credit card, it's actually going to come out your line of credit and you don't have to pay it now, but you can pay it later.
So you have leverage.
So you have leverage, right? So that's one of the big reasons why, in my opinion, debit is better than credit.
So you can buy some time.
Absolutely.
Into paying.
No question. Right.
Okay. Well, even though debit cards are easier to get, you simply open up a checking account and it usually comes with the option of having a debit card. Usually you have to qualify to get extended credit, right? But there are some credit cards that help you build credit, which brings me to the next benefit of having a credit card and using that versus a debit card. See, every time you use your debit card or you spend cash or you write a check, it doesn't help you build credit. Now, if you're an adult in the United States and maybe other countries as well, we know that our credit scores are super important. What can you do without credit? You need your credit to get an apartment. You need your credit to get a car. You need credit to buy a house. You need credit to get utilities, right? Your car insurance, your homeowner's insurance. There's so many different things that are tied to our credit scores. And simply put, the higher the score, the better deals, offers, interest rates we're going to be able to take advantage of. So you have to actually start establishing and building credit. And when you use debit and cash and checks, you're not building any credit. A credit card is one of the fastest ways to actually build credit and even boost your credit score by using it correctly.
Absolutely. That's good. That's really good, actually. So another tip about credit cards versus debit card is points, reward points. You get reward points and you get cash back for credit cards. And I ask this question all the time. If a credit card company says, we're going to give you this amount of cash back or this amount of rewards for using it, isn't that to me, that's free money. And that would be a great thing to do. Now, if you use a debit card and you use cash, what do you get? Well, you only get what you paid for. That's it. You don't get anything. Unfortunately, the dollar is not worth anything. So you're not going to get anything for that. And just using cash is not going to get you no points or no rewards. I know for us, because we do use credit cards, we get cash back every single month. So that's free money. So if I gave you $100, if you gave me $100 and I gave you back 101, you're still winning, right? You're still winning because if you just gave me 100 and I gave you back 100, you just broke even. So it's no rewards in that. So when you got a good debit credit card, you'll get good rewards. You'll get good points. I know people, all they do is live off their credit cards so they can get all the reward points, get free hotels, get free flights, get free vacations, all of that because they're using their credit card to pay their bills they're going to pay anyway.
Yeah, in fact, you can use the cash back to even pay your credit card.
Which is awesome.
Right. Using the bank's money to pay back the bank's money, right? That sounds like a win-win.
Absolutely.
But one of the things that I will say is a lot of the credit cards that come with the best rewards, the best points, and the best rates are the credit cards for people with higher credit scores, which is, again, why you want to work on building and establishing credit. Okay. I do want to clarify something though, that you said. You said there are people who literally live off their credit cards, which is true. But I want to make sure you understand this. They're not living off their credit cards because they need to live off their credit cards, meaning they don't have enough income to afford their lifestyle. And so they're purchasing everything on their credit card that they really can't afford. What my husband's actually saying is that instead of using their cash and their checks and their debit card to pay their utilities, to pay their car note, to pay the things that you would normally use your debit and your cash for, they use the credit card. They don't go spend the money now. The money is still available, put aside to pay down the credit card, right? So now you're leveraging credit, you're building points at the same time that you're building your score. So I just wanted to clarify that because
that's really
there's
good.
Some people who living off their credit cards in a
For
bad way,
right?
And now their score is in the toilet, right? You got to be in a position to pay that balance down before the statement closing date so you really get the benefit of the credit.
Well, you need to tell, because they may not know what the statement closing date is.
So when it comes to your credit cards, you have your due date, which is when your bill is due. And that's usually the date that most people are concerned about, right? I got to pay my credit card before my due date, and you want to pay attention to the time because some credit cards you got to pay before 2 p.m. before it's considered late. Some you got to pay before 8 p.m. If you pay at 8:01, you're getting that late fee. I've had that happen. True story. Like, oh, damn it, right? I gotta eat that, right? But your due date is typically not the date that your actual credit card balance is reported to the credit bureau, right? There is a statement closing date and there's also a report date. And those dates you want to know because whatever your balance is on your statement closing date, that's what's going to be reported to Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Mm-hmm. So you could actually max your credit card out as long as you pay it down before your statement closing date, pay it between 1% and 7% of your utilization. You're going to see those boosts, those added points to your score. So for those of you who needed to clarify. So another benefit, credit versus debit, is the fraud protection.
Absolutely. That's the biggest one, in my opinion, because I have a Discover card and I noticed some transactions that weren't mine. Now, if it was on a debit card, here's the process. I would have called into the Bank of America and said, hey, I got these transactions and I don't know where they came from. Well, they probably would have said, I'm going to put it on an investigation and we'll get back to you in a few days. Well, the difference between the debit and the credit card, what happened with Discover card, they actually refunded me all the money before I got off the phone. That's huge. You don't have to ask no questions. All you got to do is call in and say, hey, fraud, it wasn't me, and they take care of it.
And that typily does not happen with the debit card. They usually do an investigation and it takes 10 days or something like that. And if it comes back in your favor, they'll refund the charges and all of that, right? So that is another benefit of having a credit card. And again, the credit card's not linked to your checking or savings account. So those charges that are on your credit card, they're not taken from your actual money. How many of you, and I know this has happened to me, it's probably happened to you and maybe many of you, where when I didn't have a credit card, how many of you try to rent a car? Right? Rent a car or maybe even book a hotel and you're trying to use a debit card and they put this hold on your debit card for hundreds of dollars. And sometimes you weren't even expecting them to put that hold and it actually ties up your actual money and you don't have access to it. Well, guess what? They don't do that when you have a credit card. They don't put these holds on your credit cards.
Right. So that's good. Another one that I just thought about with credit versus that, I thought about it and it slipped my mind that fast. I haven't done this. I'm 49. I haven't probably done this in about 25 years. Who used to balance their checkbook? See, a lot of people don't get when you use your debit card, you need to balance your checkbook because what happens, and this has happened to me, I look at my ledger and I think I have a certain amount of money already and I forget that. So what happens with debit cards is like she just said, like my wife just said, they put a hold on it, right? And they don't take the money out. You think they already took the money out.
They authorize the transaction.
And you think the money is gone, but it's not. And so then you go overspend and then they hit you with those overdraft fees of $30 or more, right? That's why the banks look so good. But you don't have to worry about that, like she said, with credit cards.
Yeah, actually, one of our sons had a recent experience with that situation. He called me. He was like, "Mom, I messed up. I messed up so bad." And it was literally just that. He was like, "I made these purchases. I know I saw it come out of my checking account." It's like, "I know I saw it." And then today I checked, and I'm negative $1,000-something. And I had to explain to him, I said, look, and he's like, and I go through my transaction thinking I'm double charged because I see these charges coming in again today, and they're only on there one time. And I'm like, listen, it was because they authorized the transaction, they released it, and you did what many of us did. When we saw that balance increase, if you was expecting to have $100 in your account and you log in and it say 1,500, and come on now, like, wait a minute. But you did what a lot of us did, and I'm guilty of it too, where it's like, okay, I'm about to pull this money out, I'm about to make some other charges, and then boom, those authorizations come through and they actually post against your account, and now you're negative with NSF fees or overdraft fees.
Where it hits you the hardest is over the weekend, because most banks do not update until Tuesday of the following week. So you really, if you're using debit cards, you really, really want to be mindful of the money you're using and get that old ledger out and subtract, because
super important.
See, we learned the reason why we are professionals is because we
did a lot of stuff the wrong way first. If you do enough stuff wrong, so you hit your butt on the ground hard.
That's how I know. Tuesday is when they update.
But the other thing is, and this is trial and error, is the banks, they have a different scheduling system or posting system than what you see when you log into your online banking. So with the timing that you think things are actually hitting your account, they're on a totally different schedule in the back end, and they'll tell you completely different dates. And a lot of times what banks do, and they do this on purpose because they make billions and billions of dollars off of overdraft and NSF fees, is a lot of times they'll put the larger transactions through first. And so let's say you have 7 transactions, but you only have enough to cover 3 of them. They'll put the larger transaction through first and then put those smaller transactions through. So now you get hit with 1, 2, 3, 4 NSF fees when they could have put those smaller transactions through, and you probably could have maybe got hit with 1 or 2 NSF fees. But I know that's not related to credit cards. But look, you don't have NSF fees with credit cards. You don't have overdraft fees with credit cards. You just have to understand how to leverage them and use them properly.
Really, the only fees you have with a credit card is a late payment.
And also, too, you don't have international transaction fees, which you do have with debit cards. If you use your debit card internationally, you'll see these little charges on that card, and they'll say international transaction. You don't see that with credit cards. All
right, so recapping why credit cards are better than debit cards. The first one is the money does not come out of a credit card right away. You have some time to pay it back, versus a debit card, it comes right out. What's the other way?
And I'm going to tie one that I said later in with that. It's not linked to the checking or your savings account. And therefore, just like the money doesn't come out right away, you don't have to deal with those holds on the money in your account when you go to do things like rent a car or book a hotel.
That is good. And then another one we said was fraud protection. Another one we said bill credit. Then you got the points, the rewards, the cash back,
leverage.
And then you have the ability to leverage credit. See, again, because a lot of us was taught wrong, we looked at credit cards as the devil. It does have to have some discipline with it, but if you use it correctly, it can definitely give you some incredible rewards for doing so. Was it anything else?
I'm gonna tell you something else that a lot of people might not even see as a benefit initially when we're just, dropping this versus this. But having the option of having credit available on a credit card is a huge stress relief. Or if that's even the right way to say it, I remember one time both of our vehicles broke down. Both of them. It was within days of each other.
No, it was the same day.
No, it was the day after.
Bro, somebody did something to our vehicles.
They broke down.
It was the same issue.
In the same way, right?
Was you mad at me or something?
Why would I do that to my own vehicle though? But and the repairs were close to $1,000 for each vehicle.
We didn't even trip.
And whether we had the money or not, just knowing that we had the option, we'll just put it on the credit card. And I can remember times when we would have repairs or work that needed to be done, and we'd have to wait and I'd have my car sitting at the repair lot because I didn't have enough money to get it out, right? But having that option to just put it on the credit card and then take our time, because we have that leverage where we can just pay it, at our own pace, that is, it's like a peace of mind. Like if something goes wrong or something unexpected happened, we got this $25,000 of credit over here. We got this 20,000 line of credit over here. And that is it's a great feeling, to have that option.
Absolutely. So
I think that's it.
Okay. I just want to make sure. And so
what about people who can't qualify for a good credit card?
So what I would do is reach out to us because we definitely can help. Neither one of us got our glasses on, so hold on. Let me
wait. But you're supposed to be able to see up close without your glasses.
No,
that's not far.
That's far.
He's really blind, y'all. See, I'm just farsighted, but as you can see, he said he can't see far or close.
No, it's
so
just,
what did it
it's
say?
the light.
The light.
What's up, Darren? Good morning.
The light
Good
should
morning.
help you see, okay? You blinder than me. Proof. I'm gonna save this video.
Whatever. But good morning. So what did you say?
What did he say?
Oh no, he said good morning. He said credit. He said credit at some point.
Okay.
You'll have the money. But listen, even if you have you have everybody. I want you all to understand. You guys know the millionaires and the billionaires. They use a card that's black. It's called the American Express Unlimited Black Card. And they put everything on that card for a reason.
And they have the money.
They have the money, but they're getting the points. They're getting the rewards, right? They're getting all these different rewards.
And it's leverage.
And it's a lot of leverage. You always want to use other people's money.
Why? Because if you use your money, once you use it,
it's gone. Right. So you always want to use, so that's the mindset. See, I understand. My dad used to always tell us this, and I think my brother is watching. He's always saying, if you can't pay cash for it, don't get it. Okay, I get it. And then, of course, I know we have some followers who may listen to, what's his name?
David Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey,
says
right?
All debt is bad debt.
Right, all debt is bad debt. I disagree with that. And, I respect Dave Ramsey for a lot of reasons, but some things I don't agree with because I understand the power of leverage, right? I understand. If I had $1 million in the bank and I wanted to go spend $1 million, well, once I spend it, it's gone. But if I had $1 million access on a credit card, I can pay it on the credit card, get a whole bunch of points, get a whole bunch of rewards, and then pay it off when I want to, right? And then I still have my $1 million in the bank. Mm-hmm. So that's the concept. And I know, listen, I'm not trying to make anybody switch how they do stuff. We just sharing our
we are.
Well, I'm just sharing.
We're trying to encourage you because at the end of the day, he's sharing his opinion. I'm trying to encourage you because credit impacts so many areas of our life, and it holds and sets back so many people. So we got to understand how to play this game. Mm-hmm. There are so many financial tools, financial resources, financial vehicles that can help you and your family have a better financial situation right now and better financial stability and security in the future. The fact of the matter is most of us didn't learn about them or learn how to use and manage them so that we could take advantage of them as wealthy families and well-to-do families do. Okay. And Absolutely. So we have to kind of switch our paradigm sometimes when it comes to certain things. Was there?
Yeah. So basically, your dad is correct. Having good credit is definitely better than having a bank account. It is, right? Because with good credit, you can always go get more money. That's the whole thing. And so that is one of the things. And let me kind of re-say what I said. It is my opinion, but my wife just told you guys, we do want to change people paradigms. She hate that word, but I love that word.
No, I don't like plethora.
No, plethora, yeah. But
plethora. It just sounds like something plethora.
But we definitely want to encourage because we didn't know this information, right? And so as we learn, you guys learn, our kids learn, they already know. The biggest thing about credit cards is discipline. That's really it, discipline. But one of the secrets is the higher your credit score, the higher your limits is going to give you ability to be able to do a little bit more as long as you're disciplined. That's really it.
So where do we start? I got bad credit. I can't get a credit card.
So what you need to do first off is reach out to us because we can definitely get you started on repairing that credit. Now, in the meantime, while you building your credit score, you can go out and get a secure card. We actually have one of those for you as well. Just reach out to us and we'll turn you on to the secure card of that we want you to use because it works, right?
And I just want to add this because we're talking about credit cards. I don't that doesn't mean that we encourage you right now, if you don't have credit cards, to just go start applying for a whole bunch of credit cards.
No. Hey, I'm glad. Red flag. Listen, if your score starts with a 3, 4, 5, or 6, do not go apply for credit cards without talking to us first.
And my rule of thumb is, when it comes to applying for any type of credit, you want to pretty much be almost 100% certain that you're going to get approved, especially if they're going to pull your credit.
Correct.
You want to be 100% certain that you're going to get approved before you apply. And these credit cards, even with good credit, even with excellent credit, some of them will deny you on the simple fact that you applied for 2 other cards within the same year. So you got to know the rules. You got to know how to play the game so that you can play the game to win. All right. And if you don't have good credit, there you can still start, with that secure card. And there's other ways that we can help you build your credit. But in terms of having access to a credit card, and don't assume because you bank with a bank for 10, 25 years that, oh, my bank has a secure card, I'm going to go and apply. Do you know you can get denied for secure? Well, first of all,
they will pull your credit.
A secure card, let me just break this down, because a secure card is similar to a credit card or an unsecured card. The difference between an unsecured and a secure card is that a secure card is secured by your money, meaning you're going to have to put a deposit down with that bank for them to open up that credit card. And that's because you haven't established positive credit. They don't trust you with their money. So you first have to show them that you can use a credit card responsible with your money. That's the difference between a secure card and an unsecured card. Unsecured card is the bank's money. But don't assume that you are going to automatically get approved for a secure card just because it's secured with your money. I have been denied for a secure card in the past. I know a young lady who's banked with Bank of America for 25 years, was pissed that they denied her after all the years that she was banking there for a secure card. So again, before you start applying for stuff, reach out and we can direct you where we know for sure you will be able to get approved and be able to start your journey of building credit.